Shalom Yeladim, Morah Marnie here. Time to ask the famous question. What is the Parsha of the week this week? Ma ha-parsha, ma ha-parsha, ma ha-parsha tashavua. Ha-parsha tashavua, ha-parsha tashavua, ha-parsha tashavua, parshat shoftim. Shoftim. This is Parshat Shoftim. And we learn many, many mitzvot in Parshat Shoftim. Today we're going to talk about one particular mitzvah, which is the mitzvah of Melech Yisrael. Melech means king, and Yisrael means, of course, Israel. Also, it can mean the Jewish people. So Melech Yisrael is the king of Israel. And in this week's Parsha, Parshat Shoftim, Hashem teaches the Jewish people, Bnei Israel, what is a Jewish king. And Moshe Rabbeinu explains to all the Jewish people all about it. Now, a regular king, just a king, not a king of Israel, a regular king, he is usually a very, very, very rich person. Here's like a regular king.
Hello, I am a king, and I am so rich. You're gonna see in a minute all the things I have. It makes me so happy to be rich. I can do whatever I want, and I can order everybody around. I can say, you do this, you do that. Guards, come here right now. Listen to me and do what I say. So take a look at some of the things that I have. I bet you're going to think, wow, he is so rich and what a big shot he is. Take a look.
So I'm going to show you some of the things that a king can have. First of all, kings have lots of these. At least they used to. Lots of susim, horses, tons of horses. This horse, that horse, another horse. If I had 1,000 horses, I would show you 1,000 horses, but I don't. I just have these 3 pretend horses. So kings used to have thousands of horses to show how rich they were and how strong they were. Of course, kings have a lot of, what is that? If you said money, kesef, you are right. Tons of silver. Silver, money, because a king is so rich and he keeps wanting to get richer and richer and richer and richer and richer. And of course he has gold. Everyone say zahav. Gold. Oh my goodness, he has glasses of gold, he has vases of gold, he has plates of gold, he has fancy bottles of gold. Zahav. Kesef is zahav because that is richness, riches, money, lots of stuff. And a king loves usually to drink yain. Oh boy, he loves wine. Yain, and he has fancy goblets. He has lots of wine bottles filled up. He's a big eater. Kings love to eat fancy foods. Foods that other people didn't even see before. A king has. Foods that regular people can't get. A king has. Because he just orders his guards to find it for him, or to buy it, or to take it, or to make it. Fancy cakes. Fancy cakes of all different kinds. Oops. A king has. And all the people bow to him and tell him how great he is.
So, what did you think? Don't I have a lot of cool stuff? I'm a king. Everyone has to bow to me. I'm the best. Everyone has to listen to me.
Okay. Bye-bye. Now, Yeladim, that is not the story of the king of Israel, Melech Yisrael, the Jewish king. the Torah tells us, and Moshe Rabbeinu tells us in this week's Parsha. Listen, here are the halachot of the king. A king of Israel, Melech Yisrael, always must have something with him. All the time, all day long, he must carry Torah, a Torah. He has to have it written, a special one just for him. It can be small. And he has to hold it with him and carry it with him wherever he goes to remember he is the king, but who is the true king? Who's the true king, Yeladim? Melech Emiti. The true king is Hashem, of course. And the Torah has all the laws, the words, the wisdom, the chokhmah of Hashem inside of it. So the king of Israel, Melech Yisrael, never forgets, oh, wait a minute, I am the king. Hashem made me the king, but there is a king above me, the true king. Melech HaMelachei HaMalchim, the king of all kings, Hashem. So he doesn't forget. And when he's going to tell people what to do, he's like, whoa, wait a minute, I can't just say whatever I want. I have to think, is this what Hashem wants? Is this what Hashem wants in his Torah? So, that's the first thing. The Melech Yisrael must have his Torah with him. Now, another thing is, Hashem said, yes, you may have susim. Of course you may have horses, but not too many. You may not have too many horses. Okay, because you can't forget that it's Hashem who gives you all this wealth and who makes you who you are. If you have too many horses, you'll think you're such a big shot. You'll think you're so great. It's all for Hashem, and it's from Hashem. So, also a king, a Melech Yisrael, he can have money, a lot of money, and he can have beautiful things. He should. A king is a king after all. A king's thing should be beautiful, gold and silver. But the king of Israel, Melech Yisrael, he doesn't forget, oh, this is for Hashem. When he has money, he uses it for tzedakah. He uses it to make the Beit HaMikdash more beautiful. He uses it for good things. He must never forget it's not just for him to do with whatever he pleases. And all of his food, fancy cakes. What are they? Yes, he can have fancy good food, and he should. A king is a king after all. But they need to be kosher. They can't be anything. He can't just take any food he likes. They have to be kosher, and the Torah tells him it's kosher. So Yaladim, I hope today you learned a big important point, the difference between a regular king, just any king, and lahavdil, Melech Yisrael, the king of Israel, who is Hashem's chosen one. And what is his job? The true king, is his job to just eat and drink and do whatever he wants? No way. The king of Israel, his job is to take care of his people, Bnei Israel, and to help the Jewish people come closer and closer to Hashem. That is the job of Melech Yisrael. All right, Yeladim. Have a beautiful day. Shalom, Yeladim.